And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a great show lined up for you. We've got stocks, two stocks that deal with crypto that you're going to want to know about, and some massive, a massive deep dive. I'm seeing, I'll tell you what, somebody is manipulating, some government agencies and stuff are manipulating this whole crypto space. There's no way. The amount of news that is coming out, these crypto prices should be screaming. But you know, we just looked at the other day when Ripple sold Vivo Power these 100 million XRP tokens. They only had to pay 48 cents a piece. The rest of us were paying $3.50, but they only had to pay 48 cents. You can see that we have Ripple wanting prices low. So don't get all mad and shit, everybody. All you people out there, I want to be part of the XRP community. Truly sad. All right, my name is Crypto Hulk. Not a financial advisor. Not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't sell anything I tell you to sell. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. I don't know. The one thing I do know is how to get really fucking high. Cocaine, heroin, hashish, peyote, LSD, everything. I've been taking drugs for 5.5 years. I stay high 24/7, even on this show. So don't even take anything I say seriously. All right. First 5 people of the show: Lester Mina, MKP, Sons of Thunder, MAB 1914, Crypto Greek, and Brian Edwards. Looks like Hubba Bubba became a 2024 Crypto Explosion member. And let's get on with the show, and that's faux show. Trident. Now, let's look at an article here. It came out June 2025, so 5 months ago. We're gonna review this article here. Because even though this article's 5 months old, the information in this article is priceless. The deep dive from this article. Trident, write this one down. This one, there is a stock for Trident Digital Tech Holdings. If you want to look at this one, it's TDTH, Thomas David Thomas Henry. Those are the 4 letters on the stock market for this one. I believe NASDAQ. Trident Digital Holdings Limited announces an initiative to raise up to $500 million for corporate XRP treasury development. So here's what happens, everybody. The reason you're not seeing any price increase is because what Ripple does is sells out of, like, I'm going to guess like escrow or something, and gives these companies cheaper prices. So they don't have to spend $500 million. They can spend half that. No, I'm sorry, like a 1/6 of that or 1/5 of that. That's what Ripple does. They sell the crypto. That's why if a company wants to have XRP in their treasury, they won't take it from the market so the market price goes up. They take it from their little place where they have hidden. Hey, you know what? They probably have XRP hidden in places we don't even know. I've come to a point in crypto where anything is possible. Don't assume, never assume, oh, well, that's just how it is. No, it's not. There's all these exceptions. That's how they're going to fool everybody with crypto. So a company called Trident Digital Tech Holdings wants to have $500 million in XRP, but they don't want to pay that cost. So they're going to make a special little sweetheart deal with Ripple. And they do, like we've read before. Trident Digital Tech Holdings plans to raise $500 million to establish a large-scale corporate XRP treasury, enhancing decentralized finance integration. I have told you that right now we are at the beginning of the end of all this crypto adoption. We're starting to see, what's this article about? DeFi, Web3. That's where we're at. We're at the end. We are at the end. Africa's getting hooked up. I'm going to show you some evidence of that in the next article, the next deep dive here. But what we're seeing is when you see Africa getting hooked up, you know we're at the end. And when you see $500 million, a corporation wants to have $500 million worth of XRP, Ripple's going to hook them up. They'll pay a 1/5 the cost to get that to happen. Meanwhile, you and me have to pay full costs. And the price of XRP won't go up because Ripple keeps doing all this. Just thought I'd let you know. Trident Digital Tech Holdings, it's out of Singapore. Well, let's all, you know where we're going with this one. Let me pull up this article that I've been showing you for about 3 years now. Not a big deal. Let me find Ripple Singapore right here. We're taking a short break. If I can find it. Okay, let me go up to the top, type it in. There we go. Let us use Singapore. Let me find the page. God, where did it go? Let me look on this other one. I'm having a little difficult time. There it is. There's one. That's good enough. Okay, go to the 2-minute and 38-second mark. 2-minute, 38-second. Ricardo Olvera says first payment of the $500 club. Right on. That'll get you started. Smart move. Rather than take all this time to figure shit out, just get your first month in with Crypto Hulk and we can speed you all the way up to the front. I can break everything down. Here's the article right there. Go to the 2-minute, 38-second mark. What do we see? Well, we see a Ripple logo, and it says Ripple Singapore. Oh, shit. Gold and silver in your wallet. Let me tell you what, no other channel. I've been telling you for 3 years now, Ripple's going to release a wallet, okay? And it's going to have gold, silver swapping. Now, it may not be for you, because that's how Ripple is. Ripple's not designed for you and me. But they have gold, silver, crypto, stocks, bonds, all the stuff. Ripple will make it known that they have a wallet, and it'll be for institutional use. That's what I really believe. But there's your evidence right there, Ripple Singapore. So now let's get back to Trident Digital Tech, a company out of Singapore, dealing with crypto and Ripple XRP. Not a big deal, of course. You hear it on every channel, right? Okay, sure. Trident Digital Tech Holdings, a Singapore-based company focused on digital transformation and Web3. Isn't that interesting? We're at the end. Now we're hearing all this. Everything now is coming out as like Web3. And all all those Web3 tokens we talk about, they're going to start going up. This company, Trident, has announced plans to raise up to $500 million to establish one of the world's first large-scale corporate XRP treasuries. Now, we have another stock besides Trident Digital Tech. We have this one that came in, Chance Securities, LLC. It has a 2-letter stock symbol. It's C for Charles, D for David. Stands for Chance Digital. So here we have Chance Securities, LLC. Is a strategic advisor to Trident. Trident aims to integrate DeFi. Here we go, talking about DeFi now. We never hear about nothing about DeFi. All of a sudden now we start hearing about it, don't we? Trident aims to integrate decentralized finance into its treasury management by acquiring XRP tokens as strategic reserves and implementing staking mechanisms. What we're seeing here is what I believe XRP taking the place of Bitcoin. Oh shit, Crypto Hulk. This is what I'm seeing. XRP will be the stable coin. Remember the World Bank? We had that show last night. The World Bank calls the XRP a stable coin. So what if XRP became like the Bitcoin, the store of value, and everything runs? That's why they're having XRP in the treasury, because it's the store of value. When everything's tokenized and put on the XRP ledger, you won't be necessarily, in my opinion, buying stuff with XRP. It'll be the bridge. It'll be the gold, the liquid gold. And all the gold we put on the XRP ledger. This is what I'm kind of seeing going down. Like you and me, like we're so early, but I don't see people using XRP to buy shit. I really see it like a Bitcoin where it just sits in a vault somewhere. I mean, you could take gold and go to places and buy shit with it. It's going to be a little awkward. Some places might not take it. But this is how I kind of see XRP. It's going to be a strategic reserve. See, this is interesting here. We're seeing XRP now going into corporate treasuries. Well, what's in a treasury, Crypto Hulk? Well, it's where you store shit. It's not where you buy and sell. It's where you store. Oh, are you seeing this now? We go from XRP being used. Look, in the future, you'll have coins based on the XRP. You won't be buying shit with the XRP, I don't believe. What I'm seeing is XRP is going to be held as a peg, like an exchange rate peg. So the XRP will be held in a treasury. Stable coins will be made based on how much XRP you have. These will have to be verified. So that's where Deloitte comes in, checks people's treasuries and makes sure they have what they have in it. Then this Trident Digital Tech could actually launch its own token based on how much XRP is in its treasury. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. I think you're right. So this whole XRP thing, we were just like test rats in an experiment to see how it worked and all that and get the liquidity and flow it around. But what we're seeing is the White House putting XRP in the treasury. This is now the second day. We had Vivo Power the other day. Now it's Trident Digital putting XRP in a treasury. This is very interesting. Why haven't we seen all these companies putting Ethereum in a treasury or any other coins in it. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't seen it really. But I sure am seeing a lot of XRPs going into treasuries. The company is engaging with crypto foundations and institutional partners. This is getting deep with the institutions. To secure favorable acquisition terms and plans to begin XRP treasury rollout in the second half of 2025, which is right now. Trident's commitment to transparency and governance. Let's scroll down. Trident's raising up to $500 million to create one of the world's first large-scale corporate XRP treasuries. Now, this is very interesting. Why aren't they going? What I want to know is why aren't they doing Bitcoin and Ethereum first? Because that's how everything always starts off. Here we got them going just straight with XRP. That's interesting. This, like, I notice trends. I don't know everything, but I'm looking at this. I'm like, well, this is different. Why don't they start with Bitcoin treasury? And then they go to Ethereum, and then they go to like Solana, and then some other dumb shit, and then eventually. But this is not what's happening here. This is why I'm interested in this. And you're gonna find out when I start showing you all the connections. You're gonna know. Trident is collaborating with Chance Securities LLC, and discussions with leading crypto foundations indicate a strategic approach to resource acquisition. Let's see here. So Trident is raising money to have XRP in a treasury because they want to do DeFi, which is lend it out to make money. They want to start acting kind of like a bank. Okay. Let's get into the deep dive here. And there is quite a bit. Let me check the comments here real quick. We're ready to go under. Once they value and tokenize it. Brian Edwards says, thanks, Hulk. Weto, W-E-T-O. Weto. Weto is doing some corporate restructuring and trying to build $300 million treasury as well. Okay, let me go. Here we're going for the deep dive. Put on your air tanks. Bring your fins. Overview of Trident Digital Holdings Limited. So on the NASDAQ, it's TDTH. It's a Singapore-based. Oh, Ripple Singapore-based? Okay. Singapore-based company. Founded when? In 2014. Well, wait a second, Crypto Hawk. That was the same time that Ripple Singapore was invented. So, that's just a coincidence. Ripple Singapore came out in 2014, the same time as this Singapore crypto company. Not a big deal. Just a coincidence, everybody. Just a coincidence. Same year. This company is specializing in digital transformation. Technology optimization services and Web3 activation. That's interesting. They came out in 2014 and they specialize in Web3, which wasn't even like around then, but okay, awesome. Makes sense. It provides commercial and technical digital solutions to small and mid-sized enterprises. Look, government institutions. This Trident company specializes in Web3 activation, and they help government institutions. Oh, nice. We already kind of know this if you watch Crypto Hulk. They also work in industries like e-commerce, fintech, healthcare, food and beverage, wholesale, retail, and also, look, oh, what a surprise, emerging markets in South Africa. My gosh. I told you when Africa gets hooked up, that's when the party starts. The company's flagship product, it's called Tridentity. Uh-oh, Crypto Hog, I think this is starting to go south already. They specialize in a blockchain-based identity solution. Oh, now it starts getting all bad. Offering governments, offering single sign-on authentication, SSO, data protection via advanced encryption. Oh, they help governments? Gee. And they integrate across third-party systems. I bet they do. Tridentity leverages decentralized technology, smart contracts, tokenization, and cryptography to enable secure digital identities. Oh, gosh, here we go, everybody, in the Web3 environment, including metaverse. Oh, shit, application. What is metaverse? Oh, just the root network that we talk about on this show. Not a big deal. Metaverse applications. So they're tied in with metaverse, and that's the root network. And you got all kind of Ripple XRP mixed up in the root network. The company went public in September 2024. So they've been around for 10 years, and then just last year they go public. Now, they're underwritten by a company called Wallach Beth Capital. That's another company we're gonna touch on that one. They're like the money people, okay? The Wallach Beth Capital helps provide the money, because you always got to have a government shuffling money into government projects. So you got to have a company of a company of a company, and that's what Wallach Beth does. They're really good at hiding money, and so in fact they get busted here and there. People, but they slip out of it by paying fines and stuff. Not a big deal. TDTH, their market cap's 28 million, with revenues declining 68% year over year. Well, that's interesting for government project. But that's why they have a subsidiary called Quality Zone Technologies. Quality Zone Technologies. We're going to learn about them too. This is like they're shuffling money and doing all these things. That's how this government's doing this, okay? Let's keep looking here. Now, TDTH has an initiative that raised $500 million. So at the same time their revenues fall 68%, they're somehow coming up with $500 million. See what I'm talking about? This is all government mumbo jumbo shit in here. Like if our government's bankrupt, but yet they keep printing money and giving it away and shit. So it's kind of like, and these companies, they don't have to stick around. They can just go bankrupt, and the government will just start another company and make more money. So that's how all this shit does. They can get one company, create all this debt by giving it to this company here. That company goes bankrupt. They start a brand new LLC and do it all over again. Okay, never ending money supply. That's how this shit works. So this company, TDTH, is involved in acquiring XRP tokens. They want to get $500 million of them. See how this doesn't make sense? But yet the company looks like they're losing money, but then they're coming up with $500 million. That shit don't make sense. That's how we catch them in bullshit, okay? Like this. We just caught them right here. This involves acquiring XRP tokens as a long-term strategic reserve, deploying staking mechanisms for yield generation. That means when we get our crypto, we're going to try to stake it, but guess what? We become a bank. So now we're in competition with the banks. That's why I have a feeling they're going to shut down people getting XRP. They really are. They're either going to try to take it away from us, or they're just going to shut it down where we can't buy it. We could sell it, but not buy it. Because look at the power. Look at the power we're going to have. We're going to get the next exchange rate peg, which is XRP, and common people can hold it and become banks. Oh, they can't allow that. That's why you get the Crypto Hulk lawyer right below the show. The Crypto Hulk lawyer, we can get that into a corporation. Let's say carefully not hide our crypto, but just not keep it out in the open. I like to say that. They have deploying staking mechanisms and deepening engagement with the Ripple ecosystem. Capital, which is money. Money will come from equity issuance, strategic placements, and structured financing with an initial rollout planned for 2025. And this is all legitimate. Chance Securities is a FINRA registered broker-dealer. Who are the founders of this TDTH? Oh, you know what? They opened up shop in the Cayman Islands. And you do that when you really try to hide shit. So this TDTH is all registered in secret in the Cayman Islands. It's a holding company. Oh, shit. This is what's going on, everybody. This is all government shit right here. Who's the founder of TDTH is Sun Huat Lim, a Singapore-based, basically, it's the Chinese government. That's my opinion, what all this is. Singapore-based entrepreneur with experience in digital transformation and Web3. Well, that's interesting. He's got experience in transformation. Web3 hasn't even started yet, and this guy's got experience in it. Okay, government. Previously involved in IT in China, consulting and business optimization for small to mid-sized enterprise in Asia. That means China. With Ripple China, emphasize blockchain's role in cross-border value transfer. In the XRP announcement, yep, told you. This guy's all with the Ripple China, Ripple Singapore, all this shit, everybody. No other channel has a clue. That's why they want you to join the XRP community and these other channels. They don't have a fucking idea that XRP is the government. You're joining the government. Hey, everybody, come on over. Join the government crypto party. Let's all become slaves. Oh, my God, they're laughing at all of you. The people in power are laughing at all of you believe in this becoming a community kind of dumb shit. Yeah, slave community. They're laughing at their asses off at these dumb shits on all these other channels that are trying to be part of some Ripple fan club or some shit. Like, they're literally laughing. Yeah, let's come on, family. I'm like, wow. You have no idea. These people have no clue. They have a crypto show and they have no clue what's really going on. It's absolutely absurd. Now this TDTH, it starts getting deep into Africa right about now. Now, who is working with TDTH? The Democratic Republic of Congo, the government. Oh shit, Crypto Hulk, this got real quick. They signed a collaboration agreement in December, about a year ago, with the Office of the President and National Intelligence. What? Government. The more you guys watch the show, you'll be like, you know what, Crypto Hulk? You're fucking right. This whole crypto shit is the government. And I'll be like, told you so. They're going to deploy. See, what we got going on is this. The Chinese government is trying to get their roots into Africa. So the Chinese put up a front, and that front is Singapore. So it makes it look like it's Singapore. But then they wrap that corporation in a Cayman Islands holding company, so you really can't tell, right? Okay. Then you get this funding through Chance. Chance is this company that's kind of on the shady part, and they raise lots of money, and they maybe do scammy shit here and there, but the money gets funneled to hook up Africa so China can get control of Africa. This is what's really happening. So the money, they're working now, this TDTH with Chaints. That's the money guy. And TDTH is really Chinese tech disguised as Singapore tech, which is Ripple, which is really the 5 families of the world. And they have this thing called Democratic Republic of the Congo Pass. It's a Web3 based national e-government digital ID. And they already have 80 million people hooked up with this. Oh God, the slave system is coming. Showing you right here, they're rolling out the slave system, folks. This builds on Tridentity for financial inclusion. Oh, they want to include the poor. They want to help the poor. Oh my God, these people. That's why these rich tech companies start getting into, we got to feed the hungry. We got to send money to all these poor people. Let's give them an ID. Give them a retinal scan. Now, this Democratic Republic, this is grok here. This is not anybody's opinion. I didn't put in it talks about a Ripple ecosystem partner. Oh God. They're in discussions with unnamed leading crypto foundations, institutional partners for XRP acquisition, staking, and DeFi integrations. TDTH is deeply embedded in the blockchain, fintech, and crypto sectors. They have decentralized ledgers for tamper-resistant IDs, smart contracts for automation, and tokenization for transactions. Listen to this. In August 2025, so about a month and a half ago, they announced plans to pursue stablecoin licenses in African countries for Ripple USD. Oh my God. These Congo, instead of the Congo having their own money, they're going to utilize the Ripple stablecoin. Some countries just aren't going to have their own money. Sometimes I guess it's easier just using another country's money. So these African Congo, they're going to use Ripple Labs digital dollar. And TDTH is going to be right there. Now, even Grok right here, Grok is saying this aligns with broader trends like Vivo Power. Remember, we talked about Vivo Power about 2 days ago. They're doing the same thing with the Ripple treasury and stuff. So this TDTH looks like their stock dropped 38% in June because people thought they were diluting their stocks. I think what they did is use their stocks to go buy XRP. That's where they printed a bunch of TDH or whatever to use that to go buy XRP. But trust and believe, this company is doing something. This is all government operation stuff right here. August 2025, stablecoin license pursuit for Ripple Labs US dollar in Africa. It leverages Democratic Republic of the Congo Pass success. Ripple Labs USD circulation hits $500 million, boosting TDTH's Africa focus. This is how they're opening up. I'm showing you right now how on the down low, the United States and China is hooking up Africa. They're using companies like TDTH which are hidden from the Cayman Islands to go into Africa, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, get them all hooked up with this technology. This is how it's going right here. Yeah, Ripple involved in this with these two little companies. Now, there's something interesting with this TDTH company. September 2025 talks about $2.6 million PIPE financing closed to commercialize the Democratic Republic of Congo pass. NASDAQ compliant notice for bid price, $1 minimum, market value $35 million. TDTH has until November 10th, which already passed, to comply or face a delisting risk. So they're doing something with their stock prices, I think, so they can raise money to get Africa hooked up. This is kind of like what I'm seeing here. Then November 10th, they have a 180-day extension for possible price. Signals financial strain amid a 68% revenue drop. Okay, let me scroll through. So we've got the TDTH, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Office of the President / National Intelligence, December 24 agreement for e-government rollout targets African digital inclusion. So that's what we know. They're hooking up these Africans with digital IDs and Web3. Wallach, this IPO is underwritten by Wallach Beth Capital. This is where it all comes in. Those are the money people that are trying to help this thing get pushed through. Now, Wallach Beth, let's look into Wallach Beth. Let me check the comments here real quick. Okay, Wallach. What is this Wallach Beth company? It's a FINRA registered broker dealer founded in 2008, headquarters in New Jersey. They got offices in Boca Raton, Florida. This firm specializes in institution execution services, capital markets advisory, and investment banking for small to mid-sized companies. They've helped companies raise $1.5 billion. That's what this company does. I would say it's like a shell type company. It assists governments in raising money for little secret projects. That's what I see with this Wallach Beth company. They act as if they're a real company, which they are, but they're really like some kind of government funding shell. That's what I see. Wallach Beth operates as a partnership style firm with limited public disclosure on the founders beyond key executives. They're hiding everybody in this company. This is a government three-letter agency kind of secret thing, okay? You don't have a public company and like hide all the people that are working for you. You don't do that. So there's something going on here. It focuses on execution and advisory rather than a traditional venture capital model. So the quote, advisors are often internal managing directors or external legal counsel. So it lists about 4 or 5 people that are the founders or co-founders. Let's see here. Employees. There's just not a whole lot. Yeah, they're very limited in giving information out. I couldn't find it's just it keeps them secret and hidden. But they seem to do like healthcare. That's what's weird. Why they're mixed up with this Trident company with Africa, because they don't do shit like this. They're like a healthcare company with helping with cancer and shit like that. That's why it doesn't make sense that they're doing this with Singapore and stuff. What happens is there's a red flag with Grok, and it says that this Wallach Beth company frequently underwrites micro caps that plummet 80%. Often Chinese reverse merger structures with silly names like Lasting Success Holdings. So that's what this company does. They're doing secret stuff for governments. That's my opinion. And Grant kind of sees some of that here. That would make sense. And they work with BNY Mellon for custody. That's interesting. Now, what about Quality Zone? Quality Zone's mixed up. You got Trident, the Chains Securities, Wallach Beth, and here we have Quality Zone. These four musketeers. Oh, Quality Zone is also a Singapore-based private company. Of course, it's private. This Quality Zone operates as a full-service information tech company. It's an IT company. It's a subsidiary of Trident. So this Quality Zone is a spinoff of Trident. It's basically Trident. It's a very, very private company. They help Singapore tech firms. This Trident company, which is Quality Zone, is a subsidiary of Trident. So this Quality Zone helps Trident accomplish what they're trying to do. And this looks like getting Africa hooked up. Quality Zone's IT enable XRP staking, DeFi integrations, and Ripple ecosystem tools. They're focusing on infrastructure for cross-border payments in Africa and Asia. So what we got here is the Democratic Republic of the Congo is getting hooked up with Chinese communist China via Singapore, and these little 4 or 5 companies that make it look like it's private innovation, but it's very secret because they don't want the whole world to know about this. But I'm kind of telling it right now as I see it. That's what's going on. Africa-Asia connection right there. Grok is showing us. This is all from Grok. It talks about this Quality Zone. Coverage is sparse, embedded in the parent company update. So they're keeping all this quiet and secret. This is government at its best, hooking up Africa quietly where no one sees except us. TDTH announces stablecoin licenses in Africa. QZT is the IT backbone that's supporting. So this is Ripple Labs with the Chinese government using Singapore as the actor. China is like hidden in the back, and you got these 4 companies. They're working with the Democratic Republic of the Congo to hook up Ripple Labs stablecoin and get all licensed for cross-border payments in Africa. And since I already showed you Ripple Singapore, it makes sense. Something going on with Singapore. Ripple and China. Singapore is the arm of China. So when you hear Singapore, it's really China, but China hides behind Singapore to do shit. That's how this goes down. So what do we have as far as banks involved in this? Well, again, it's TDTH uses Chain's securities for compliance. So the money man here is the Chain Securities Company. They provide funding to get all this shit done. It's really a government project, but you can't have a government given this money. So they have to funnel it through like a finance company like Chain Securities. That's how they're getting this shit done. Chain Securities is a FINRA broker, started in 1982. It specializes in equity capital markets, investment banking, private placements. So that's what PIP is, private placements. That's where the money. This Chain Security is funding all of this Ripple technology to get into the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They're doing a good job of hiding it, but not good enough because I figured the shit out. And if you want to buy that stock, it's CD, Charlie David. It's on the NASDAQ. Chain's Digital is CD. Chain's focuses on bridging traditional finance with DeFi, including tokenization, and it targets micro and small cap issuers. Kind of like what we do on this show, right? We look at the really micro cryptos. That's where it all starts, when it's really, really tiny. Now, Chain's Securities operates under Mercurity FinTech umbrella. So Mercurity FinTech is the name of the top company. I haven't deep dived that one. I'm sure it's got government written all over it. Mercurity, the CEO is Wilfred Day. That's his name. He was appointed in 2023. They got a chief strategy officer, founded Mercurity subsidiaries. They work with Aegis Capital, AEGIS, and then Capital. I heard of that company. It's AI. There's a lot of AI going on with Mercurity, artificial intelligence. I'm looking up Chains, doing a little deep dive on Chains. They do Chains positions as a bridge for public companies entering Web3. Interesting. Emphasizing compliant treasury strategies. Oh, shit. This explains it. Okay, we were right. Chains, I'm telling you what, you need to, I told you guys the two stocks for today's show, the TDTH, and that stands for Trident Digital Tech Holdings, and then CD stands for Chains Digital. Let's find out who's really bankrolling this whole thing. Remember, I told you the Chains is like the money people. And let's talk about who their partners are. You're not going to believe this one. You're going to want to run out and buy Chain. Now, one of these companies, look, all these stocks we talk about, some of them might just disappear. I just want you to know, okay? Don't invest in anything that I tell you. Do not invest in anything I tell you, all right? But you need to invest in CD and TDTH because in November of this year, and guess what? It's November right now. Chains Digital reports that BlackRock, oh God, crypto. I told you it doesn't get any bigger. This is the biggest little fucking secret. Get these fucking stocks, okay? I'm whispering. I don't want to tell everybody. BlackRock bought into this. Chains. Guess what? State Street bought into this Chains. Guess what? UBS bought into this. Oh, shit. Those are the partners right there. It doesn't get any bigger than BlackRock, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest investment company in the entire world, BlackRock, is now, as of November, BlackRock, State Street, and UBS bought into Chains. Oh, shit. Now, why is that important? Because BlackRock uses Ondo, which uses Cosmo SDK, which Ripple helped to make an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain to the XRP ledger, using the Cosmo SDK and PureSys to get all this stuff done. Then you got Axelar mixed up in all this. All this is like boom right now, just came together right there. That's who's involved in all of this. Bankrolling all this to make it happen is BlackRock, State Street, UBS. And these two little cryptos you never heard of, Chains and TDTH, they may very well skyrocket, okay? Now, I don't know how everything works out. Maybe these two companies go bankrupt. I don't know. But you have to look at the evidence. You have to look at the fundamental evidence and make decisions. not based on price. Chains Digital reports institutional ownership by BlackRock, State Street, and UBS. Very interesting. That's why they rebranded Chains, all this, okay, BlackRock, State Street, and UBS come in, and then Chains all of a sudden changes its name. What does that tell you right there? November 13th, they did that. Like 10 days ago. They just all of a sudden changed their name. BlackRock, State Street, and UBS go into Chains Digital. I forgot what their old name used to be, but they changed their name all of a sudden. There you go. You invest in whatever you think you have to invest. Don't do it because I said. But I don't think a company that takes on BlackRock, State Street, and UBS is going to fail. I don't think that's going to happen. But you do what you got to do, right? Now they're talking about MFH Digital. Now, what happened is MFH and Chance, the price went up in September, 24%. And it's pumping. Like, there's concerns that there's hype in the market. It's kind of like when we pump a coin and it goes up 20x. This is what's happening. But in the real world, if your coin goes up too fast, too quick, the SEC and stuff starts to flag you. And this is what happened. Insiders know that BlackRock, State Street, and UBS hooked up with Chains, what's called MFH Chains. And the crypto went up year to date. It went up 150%, raising pump concerns. So I told you, we all know what's the reason. Okay, I just told you the reason. This might be a crypto. This might be a stock you seriously want to look into. And that is the end of that deep dive right there. Oh, Goldman Sachs is also involved in this. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what Grok is saying here. BlackRock, State Street, UBS Bank, Goldman Sachs would. I think now if it was me, I'd put some money into CD. Chains Digital. Damn, that's pretty amazing right there. Okay, let me click out of that. Check the comment section. I'll become fearful. Mark says, thanks, Hulk. I like these stocks. Only the best on Crypto Hulk Show. See, what we do is we've evolved. We weren't monkeys. Well, some of you might have been monkeys. I don't know, but not me. But we've evolved into a show. It's a show of value. We talk about crypto and companies related to crypto. Since this TDTH and Chance are working on putting a stable coin, the Ripple Lab stable coin, utilizing all kinds of BlackRock technology with Ondo, you got the Cosmo SDK, Axelar, Ripple, all that shit's involved. And of course, we know if you got Hedera and Algorand are involved with Ripple as well. So we go over stocks, companies that are utilizing the crypto. Hey, let's invest in all these companies involved, right? And let's get in early before everybody else knows. Let's have a channel that's based on deep diving. I'm taking it so we just went on a deep dive, really, really deep. We used up all the oxygen in our tanks. And we're at the very beginning. This is where I like to look at the very beginning when BlackRock first goes into Chance Digital with Goldman Sachs, with these other banks. You want to get in early. That's what we do on Crypto Hulk Show. We don't wait till the shit's already $500 up. No, we get in at the very beginning possible that I can find out, and this is it. Poppy Chulo. Hey, Hulk, love you, brother, and thanks for all the great knowledge. You're absolutely the OG. When will you be able to do an update on Zebek? I don't know. Let's see here. Now, we're at 1 hour. Up. Okay, time is up. And I didn't get to get into the other deep dive. Oh, drat. Well, that's a shame. Tonight at 4:00 p.m., I believe I got Caleb Brown. So I won't be able to do that one. It'll probably have to be tomorrow morning, the next deep dive. I'm going to confirm I got Caleb Brown today. We're going to go over the market and what's going on and any kind of concerns that you may have. And we are done with this program. So I'll see you at 4:00 p.m. Pacific time with Caleb Brown to go over Crypto Hulk. We're scared. What's going on?